Where do UFOs come from? Do visitors to planet Earth travel vast distances to the only planet boasting intelligent life in this corner of space? Or do they originate much closer to home?
There are other planets, such as Mars, with artifacts on them that are suggestive of civilizations that have been there for a long, long time.
The solar system was born over 4.5 billion years ago. Earth's civilization is only 12,000 years old. How many others have emerged on different worlds since our planetary neighborhood first took shape? And if there were other civilizations, what happened to them? Did they fall victim to natural catastrophes or conquest? From derelict spacecraft to the face of Mars, join us as we investigate the shocking secrets of alien civilizations in our solar system on Alien Files Unsealed. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Alien Files Unsealed. Exposing the biggest secrets on planet Earth. Nantes, France, October 3rd, 2011. The world's top space scientists have gathered for a joint meeting of the European Planetary Science Congress and the American Division for Planetary Sciences. Dr. Pedro Lacerda of Queen's University in Belfast presents a stunning series of photographs of a mysterious object in the Kuiper Belt beyond Neptune. It's a strange hourglass-shaped object in a long, lonely orbit around the distant sun. Careful analysis has revealed the object to be spinning through space, perpendicular to its orbital plane, like an airplane propeller. The object's spinning motion bears a striking resemblance to existing models for rotating spacecraft, designed to generate artificial gravity, essential for survival on long journeys through deep space.
The technology aspect of the extraterrestrial phenomena is the crown jewels of the truth embargo. One can get all excited about where these ETs are from and what they're like, but in terms of the human race and what it means, the technology is the centerpiece.
Is the Nantes object in fact a UFO? And if it is an alien spacecraft, how many more might be lurking in the farthest reaches of our solar system? The space beyond Saturn is a vast, virtually unexplored region. The only craft to visit the two outer planets of Uranus and Neptune was Voyager 2, that flew by in the late 1980s. The spacecraft relayed images in unprecedented detail, but in the decades since, we have discovered there was much its cameras missed. Unsealed case file: Neptune's new moon. July 1st, 2013. A scientist with SETI, or the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, announces the discovery of a new moon around the planet Neptune, one of 14 orbiting the planet. The tiny world, dubbed S2004N1, is only 11 miles in diameter. The moon was only located through an intense scrutiny of images generated years earlier by the Hubble Space Telescope. And according to some experts, it should not exist. They claim the tiny world should have been pulverized by asteroids during the solar system's formation, or long ago fallen prey to the gravity of the nearby moon Proteus and dragged down to its fiery destruction. The object's unlikely survival has led many UFO experts to conclude the moon is a spacecraft. But if Neptune's newest satellite is in fact a UFO, where does it come from? Coming up, we investigate compelling evidence of ancient structures on Mars and uncover that our own civilization may have originated on the Red Planet. Alien Files Unsealed. Recent evidence has revealed what may be alien spacecraft active in the distant reaches of our solar system. The photos have left many wondering whether these spacecraft came here from another star system, or if they originated here in our own planetary neighborhood. August 16, 2012. A flying disc appears in the sky over the planet Mars. It hurtles toward the surface at great speed, but it isn't a UFO. It's the landing craft for NASA's Curiosity rover. Its mission, to travel the surface of Mars and use its high-tech instruments to search the rocks and soil for signs of life. It's the latest in a series of missions searching for life.
When they discovered that there was at one time possibly water on the surface of Mars, that blew open the door of possibility for there being extraterrestrial life in our solar system, let alone the universe.
Unsealed case file, the face of Mars. On June 19, 1976, Viking 1 enters orbit around the red planet. A day later, on July 20th, it releases the Viking lander, which makes the first touchdown on Mars. The lander's instruments conduct the first ever scientific analysis of the surface of another planet. The experiments add volumes to our knowledge of the solar system, but ultimately find no signs of life. High above the planet, however, a different story is unfolding. The Viking orbiter continues to circle the planet, relaying data from the lander back to Earth and taking photos of the surface below. 5 days after touchdown, it captures an image that will send shockwaves around the world.
One of the most well-known photographs from the surface of Mars is what we've all known in pop culture as the face on Mars. This is something that scientists estimate is about 2 miles across. And it really shows and depicts what is arguably a face. You can clearly see eyes, you can clearly see a nose, you can clearly see a mouth, and you can clearly see an outline of a face. Now, there's a lot of coincidences there if this wasn't artificial or manufactured, so you have to ask, was this just a trick of lights and shadows by the cameras, or was this really a manufactured structure?
Most are prepared to pass off the phenomenon as a trick of the light. That is, until another shocking image appears in the Viking photos. It's a series of high points in the Martian landscape that bear an uncanny resemblance to the mightiest monuments of Earth's past, the pyramids of ancient Egypt. In the decades since Viking, many in the scientific community have embraced the theory that life here on Earth was sparked by the impact of a Martian meteor. Is it possible that meteor brought alien DNA to our planet? And could the pyramids be evidence of a genetic link with our Martian ancestors?
Look at civilizations here on Earth stretching back thousands of years. You've got giant structures in the middle of Egypt, one of which just happens to be a very large face on the Sphinx. You've got other structures from other cultures that are being built that you can only see from the sky. So when you look at those commonalities, you have to see maybe there's a connection between life 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago here on Earth and quite possibly a life starting on the planet of Mars.
Recent missions have revealed the red planet once had a much thicker atmosphere and water on its surface, both essential to life as we understand it. The question is, what happened to Mars? Was it hit by a natural catastrophe? Or was it conquered? And if it was conquered, where are the victors? August 25th, 2013. NASA releases a series of photos taken by the Curiosity rover, the latest generation of its Mars landers. Among them are 2 images taken by the vehicle's rear hazard detection camera that reveal what appear to be flying saucers. Coming up, we investigate reports of 2 more civilizations on the most inhospitable worlds in our solar system. Alien files unsealed. Are we the only civilization to ever appear in the solar system? Mounting evidence suggests there may have once been a thriving alien culture on the planet Mars. But is this the only place outside of Earth where intelligent life has taken root? Recent events suggest there may have been others, and in the most unlikely places imaginable.
We are a young star, a young system. There are stars and systems out there that are billions of years older than us, right? So how much contact have we had?
December 1st, 2012. NASA's Stereo A satellite captures stunning images of a massive burst of energy blasting out into space from the surface of the sun. In the days that follow, an amateur ufologist conducts a careful analysis of the photos and discovers something silhouetted by the blast. It's a strange rectangular-shaped anomaly hovering in space near the planet Mercury. The object's outcroppings bear a striking resemblance to the solar panels found in our own satellites and space stations. But there are no known spacecraft in the area. The ufologist posts his findings on the internet, causing an instant sensation among alien enthusiasts and scientists alike. But this isn't the kind of attention NASA is looking for. The agency claims the mysterious craft to be in reality a solar filament, a naturally occurring jet of gas protruding from the sun. Despite this innocent explanation, the agency then abruptly shuts down Stereo's image feed. In a statement, NASA explains that Stereo has gone into an unexpected emergency sun reacquisition mode, and that they were working on the recovery of the spacecraft. Why did NASA close the Stereo image feed a day after the Mercury UFO was revealed to the world? Were the agency's technical difficulties merely a coincidence? Or does NASA allegedly have something to hide? Like Neptune and Mars before, the answer may be found on the surface below. In October 2013, an amateur UFO investigator analyzing photos taken by NASA's Messenger probe discovers a series of strange features that look like cities, leading some experts to conclude there was once a civilization on the closest planet to the sun. But could a society thrive in such a hostile environment? The answer to this and many other vital questions about our solar system's past may be found on the surface of Mercury's closest neighbor. Unsealed case file. Venus. Venus has confounded scientists for centuries. Apart from the moon, it is the brightest object in the night sky. But its atmosphere is shrouded in dense cloud, obscuring everything on the surface below. Generations of astronomers imagined what lay beneath those clouds, envisioning massive, gleaming cities populated by a race of ethereal beings. The reality, however, would turn out to be much different than anyone ever imagined. Between 1967 and 1985, the Soviet Union lands a series of probes on the planet's surface in a program called Venera. They discover a true-to-life vision of hell, a desolate landscape littered with volcanoes, and an upper atmosphere that generates endless rainfall of sulfuric acid. A crushing atmospheric pressure more than 90 times that of Earth ensures that none of the probes survive more than a few hours on the surface. But more recent studies suggest that Venus wasn't always like this. Billions of years ago, Venus was not unlike Earth, complete with large bodies of water. But long ago, the planet fell victim to a runaway greenhouse effect, not unlike that plaguing our world today, leaving Venus the desolate pressure cooker it is today. Legend, however, tells a different story. According to Greek and Roman mythology, the goddess Venus launched a sudden attack on Mars, the god of war, mortally wounding him in a battle of unprecedented scale.
Ancient Roman records talk about eyewitnesses seeing a fire in the sky, which they later found to be the planet Mars. That planet Mars then became associated with their deity, Ares, the god of war.
According to controversial author Immanuel Velikovsky, ancient observers describe a giant serpent-like dust plume extending off Mars. Is it possible that these legends have a basis in reality? Did ancient astronomers pay witness to a distant interplanetary war? And while the myth says Mars alone was defeated, did Venus also suffer a mortal blow in the course of battle? One whose devastating effect played out quietly over a much longer period of time. In 1989, NASA launches the Magellan probe to map the Venusian landscape. Over the past 2 decades, UFO experts have discovered compelling evidence of structures on the planet's surface. Are these the ruins of ancient Venus? Was this planet once home to a race of aliens who launched an interplanetary war against Mars? And if it was, what happened to their civilization? But some experts have a different theory, one that strikes at the heart of our world today.
It appears that every time there's this major leap in technology, that somehow, somewhere, there's a reported alien encounter lurking in the background.
They believe every civilization accelerates toward a period of unprecedented technological advancement, culminating with the creation of artificial intelligence. Could an alien species, reliant or infected by a destructive artificial intelligence, view the human race as inferior?
All you have to do is walk down the street, and you can see how dependent the human race has become on technology. Each of us has one of our cell phones glued to our hip. We're either on it, texting with it, or taking photos with it. There are cameras on every street corner. It's safe to say that technology is a huge part of the human race.
Digital-based logic may inevitably lead an out-of-control artificial intelligence to see their creators as a threat to their continued existence. The machines may see no other choice but to eliminate them by any means at their disposal. Is it possible this catastrophe has already happened on other worlds? Did an alien civilization on a neighboring planet fall prey to its own technology? And is a robot fleet lying in wait somewhere in the distant reaches of the solar system, ready to lay waste to Earth when the time is right? Or have they already planted the technological seeds of our doom, secretly giving birth to the digital age?